Nice. Enjoying it. Okay.
Got it.
Here we go. I think we're live. All right, guys. Hello. This is another movie mood. I'm your host, Alex Van Horn.
I'm John Alberto. It's good to be back.
Yeah. And this is us talking about the movies of 2023, which has been a great year for movies.
Yeah, really good year. Just kind of talking through not necessarily like all of the movies that are on the award cycle or anything like that or any of that just like were out of the norm, but just kind of talking about things that like resonated with us, jived with us, so we had a good time with.
Yeah, and there's still a lot of movies that I haven't seen yet, like movies that I wanted to see that I feel like would probably make it onto my list. We both have, movies that are on our top 10 list, but we kind of wanted to talk about the movies that stuck out for us in 2023, not necessarily the best ones because there's a lot of really great ones that came out, but we wanted to talk about the ones that are imperfect as well that were interesting to us, and even if they're not on top 10 lists, they should be watched because they're definitely have a lot of interesting stuff to say about whatever's going on right now.
Yeah, movies deserve love even if they're not like the top 10 greatest.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you can definitely find our top tens on our letterbox. But we definitely want to talk about some of the oddball movies as well. Yeah, so I thought maybe we would start off with let's start it off with Napoleon.
Yeah.
So I Yeah, so we both watched Napoleon. Also, I'll add that these are all movies that we've both seen. So we've both watched different movies, but these are the ones that we've seen to at the same time or together, different times. So yeah, so I wanted to get your take on Napoleon, starring Joaquin Phoenix.
Napoleon starring Joaquin Phoenix might have been the movie going experience I enjoyed the most this year.
That's right.
It was wacky. Um, it was weirdly funny, and it worked for me. Yeah.
Yeah. What were the things that you really liked about it that stuck out for you?
Okay, so the things that I really liked that stuck out for me about it were Joaquin Phoenix's performance and really just the okay, so can't talk today, but the battle scenes were awesome. Like they were really really good scenes. Usually I don't go to a movie for battle scenes, but Napoleon's worked. But then everything in between those scenes was even better. Just like
Yeah,
the
for sure.
goofball nonsense, like all of it. Just
Yeah.
yeah. I don't think it was necessarily a love letter to Napoleon and his like relationship with Josephine.
No,
I think it
definitely
was
not.
I think it was just like kind of Ridley Scott letting Joaquin Phoenix have fun as this like characterization of him.
Definitely, for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah, he definitely let Joaquin Phoenix go wild as Napoleon. Like a lot of stuff I wasn't expecting from him. Like he's like always like throwing fits and like getting really angry at people and like throwing grapes at people. And yeah, the relationship between him and Josephine is hilarious. I liked when he was shushing people. Like they're like, Napoleon, you left your army, like you deserted your army, and he's just like, shh. It was funny. Yeah, and the battle scenes, like, of course, like Ridley Scott is like, the master of some pretty he's pretty up there as far as like making like giant epic battle scenes. But definitely the things that I enjoyed the most were, Joaquin like pouting a lot and yelling at people and just acting heinous and crazy in that movie.
Yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
So how how do you think this tracks in like Ridley's kind of filmography? Like
Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of weird. Like I feel I feel like Ridley Scott is kind of odd. Like I feel like you could maybe pin him down like maybe a few years ago when he made um like Gladiator and Black Hawk Down. You're like, oh yeah, that guy. Like he makes like prestige like epic sci-fi or historical dramas. Like that's what he does. And then like after like a few years, like there's some weird ones, and I guess he, like Exodus Gods and Kings and Prometheus, where he's just kind of like he's kind of rehashing stuff, but it's also like kind of quirky too. Like we both enjoyed Exodus Gods and Kings,
Yeah,
which definitely not like a great movie. Maybe it is, but maybe it is
yeah,
a great movie.
not a prestige picture, but yeah, really like the the cast of that movie. It's so bizarre. Like
Yeah,
Christian Bale and Joel Edgerton as like
yeah.
it's really weird, but
Moses and Pharaoh.
yeah, it his movies always look so good.
Yeah, for sure.
Like going into them, like the production design, the visuals always look great. So
Yeah. Yeah, his cinematography is always on point. It's really beautiful and it has like a very painterly kind of style. Um yeah. I feel like since Prometheus his style is kind of like locked down and he's kind of like got this similar looking shots, but yeah, I liked it when he Napoleon invaded Russia. He's like, I'm gonna take Russia. And the battle scene was cool that they filmed, but when he got to Russia and all the Russians were gone, and he's just like, "Where is everybody?" And like a pigeon poops on him. Just like, what's going on? It's not a
what
pro Napoleon movie, but it shouldn't be.
you know,
It's the British getting their revenge, I guess.
mm.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, I also really enjoyed it as well. I don't know if it's my number one, but definitely up there. I would say I don't know if we talked about it before, but Flowers of the Killer Moon was up there on my top.
Killers of the
Maybe,
Flower Moon.
yeah. Let's talk about it.
Yeah. Um, yeah, so that's another one. I think that one's a little bit more of a prestige picture
Definitely,
than Napoleon. I think it's getting a lot more love from the awards cycle.
for sure.
I know this one stuck out to you a lot more than it stuck out to me, I think.
Yeah,
So tell me what you liked about it and tell me like why
yeah.
so so good to you.
I feel like for Martin Scorsese, like versus some of the older filmmakers, and most of the filmmakers are like pretty old. They're getting up there, like the big ones like Steven Spielberg and Ridley Scott. And I feel like like Martin Scorsese, is kind of stayed fresh every time. Like I feel like he always has like a fresh new thing. Like like you can't really anticipate. Like maybe The Irishman has kind of got is kind of the same thing, except towards the end. The end is kind of a fresh, new thing. And I feel like Killers of the Flower Moon is definitely a fresh take from him. It's not like Leo hasn't played like a bozo before in a Martin Scorsese movie.
Mhm.
But I don't feel like Leo was the main, even though he was the like vehicle, like with the one of the main characters. I don't think he was the main point of the movie, and I thought Molly Gladstone was like amazing, was really really good, and it was really about her. Was more her movie, but just the fact that they took the perspective of Leo, kind of like his character, kind of made it a way for them to have a lens on that story and
Mhm.
what happened, and like not in a way that's like Dances with Wolves or something where you're kind of like pandering. But I don't know. I thought it was really good. I thought the cast was really good. I liked the dynamic between Leo and Robert De Niro. It's funny. Um, and there's like the cast was really interesting. Like for some reason, like Isabel came in and kind of stole the show for a while. Um, and yeah, I thought it was a good movie. And the fact that it's so long, it might be too long. Um, they probably could have cut it, but I think it's interesting that like for me, like I'm up for it. Like, if Martin Scorsese wants to make it a long movie, let's go. I'm signed up for it.
So I think for me, like a lot of what I noticed was people saying that, yeah, this is a 3.5 hour movie, so probably one of the longer movies that most people would go to see in theaters, but it didn't feel its length.
No.
It felt its length to me. Like,
Oh, really? Yeah.
yeah, yeah, it was a long movie,
Yeah.
but yeah, I think really the main thing that I liked about it, which the Academy recognized, was Lily Gladstone's performance. So
Oh,
uh,
Lily, that's right. My bad.
yeah,
I said Molly. Yeah.
terrific, terrific
Her
performance.
character's name is Molly, right? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So it's exciting to see that that kind of recognition in a Martin Scorsese movie, because like that's new, and like kind of like the time periods new, everything like that. But it did feel its length for me. So that's where
Yeah,
it, but
for
yeah.
sure. For sure. Yeah. It is too long. And there's a lot to like about it. I thought like if you're gonna go that long and you're Martin Scorsese, I feel like you should just put an intermission in. Like there should be an intermission. Like if you're gonna be like this is gonna be like a cinema thing and not like a mini series, like there should be an intermission. I feel like there should
Yeah.
have been. Yeah.
My take, which probably shows that my opinions about movies shouldn't be taken too seriously, is Killers of the Flower Moon could have been about an hour shorter, and Napoleon could have been about 2 hours longer. And
Damn.
yeah.
Well, there is I think a director's cut coming out on Apple TV, so I'm
Oh,
sure
I
you'll
saved up
you'll
in
go
my
wild.
watch list.
Yeah.
So uh,
I could definitely watch if there's just like a live feed of Joaquin Phoenix being Napoleon for
do you know
several
if he,
hours. It'd be pretty funny.
is Joaquin Phoenix like a character actor? I have no idea, honestly.
Oh
Like, does
yeah,
he like walk around set like the way
I think
his?
so. Yeah, I think he's like a pretty like a method actor.
Oh, I would love that. I would just love to see just like shots of him like
Frowning.
marching around and
With his hand and
yeah, running around all the cameramen and stuff.
yeah, that'd be wild. Oh my
Yeah.
God. Yeah. Well, I just love Joaquin Phoenix. Like he's so good. Like, yeah. We just shout out to him. He's the best.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. Also on Fire Moon, I feel like there were like certain performances that I really liked that stuck out. Like I thought I really liked Brendan Fraser in it, and I really liked like I feel like I wasn't crazy about Leo in it, but I really liked almost everybody else. And the owl. The owl was cool.
Al was in it?
There was an owl.
Oh, an owl. I thought
Yeah,
you said
yeah, yeah.
Al Pacino. And I was
Oh
like,
no, I went. It'd be wild if you made a cameo.
yeah, the owl was cool. Yeah, there were a lot of like cameos in movies this year.
Yeah,
Like Casey Affleck showing up in Oppenheimer for like 2 minutes.
yeah, that's right. Also, Oppenheimer, Killers of the Flower Moon, both are end with court. They're all like courthouse movies,
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's true.
technically. Yeah, they
Yep.
end in like courthouses. Yeah,
Yep.
about the law.
Always a good
We've
bell.
already talked about Oppenheimer, but we can talk about it too if you want. What do you think where would it place in like Napoleon number one? Where's Oppenheimer for you?
Oppenheimer's very up there. I
Mhm.
loved Oppenheimer very, very much. And I think its recognition is very deserved. But we've already talked
Absolutely.
about
Yeah,
Oppenheimer.
yeah, yeah, definitely. Yeah, we don't have to talk more about it. But
Yeah. Everybody
yeah, yeah,
knows.
yeah.
Everybody
Everybody
likes it.
already know.
Yeah.
It rules.
It's good.
Um, what were your thoughts? I want to get your thoughts on Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part One.
Mm, mm. very good movie going experience.
Mm.
You know, ever since Tom Cruise saved movies last,
I was gonna
you know,
mention that.
I always go out of my way to watch Tom Cruise. So uh,
hmm
yeah,
I was thinking about, I was having a conversation with somebody at work about different musicians, and I thought, I don't really care what like Tom Cruise or Kanye West say. I'll always like check out what they're making.
oh
Like,
yeah,
Tom Cruise, like he can say whatever he wants about Scientology or L. Ron Hubbard, but I'm still gonna go. I'm gonna watch Top Gun too. Like I'm gonna go for it.
great content.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I do have to say I wasn't this Dead Reckoning was that one felt its length for me. There was some certain parts that I really liked that were in it, but it did feel I felt like it was too long for me, but I mean, yeah, the action sequences in it were crazy. Like the train sequence but I liked it, but it was too long for me. These movies are getting too long.
yeah, yeah.
Hot take.
Lots of long movies this year.
Yeah.
I feel like there's been a resurgence of longer movies. I don't know if that's I don't know if that's because of streaming or what, but or maybe it's just artists wanting to express themselves more. And I'm
Could
here for that.
be. Yeah. And
Yeah.
maybe our like attention spans are getting so short that they're like, oh, we gotta keep them watching, keep them focused or
Yeah.
something. I don't know. Or they're like becoming mini series a little bit or something. I don't know.
Yeah, and Dead Reckoning Part 1, that's only the first half of the story, you know?
That's right.
So
That's true. What's gonna happen next? I'm blanking on the plot, but something
it
with
was
a
something with AI and
there's like some cult or something. Yeah,
yeah.
something like that. Yeah, but Tom Cruise will Tom Cruise will take care of it.
Yeah.
There's a scene I that reminded me of Napoleon during the train during the train scene where he's like telling the girl to like jump across and like I can't remember what happens. Like she runs across and he like grabs her and he's like don't do that again or something. I can't remember, but it was funny. He got mad.
Mm-hmm.
hmm Reminded me of Napoleon. Which brings us to Saltburn.
Yeah. Um,
Very
that's a
popular, very popular movie.
yeah, the internet loves Saltburn. So
Yeah,
and and we are of course on the internet. So
yeah.
do do we like Saltburn? Did you
I
like
think
Salt?
I liked it. I think I liked it.
Yeah.
I don't think. I think the first time I watched it, I liked it a lot, and then the second time I watched it, I was like, hmm, interesting. I think something I was telling my friend is that I think I'm more positive as far as like most movies I go to see, but I also drink a lot of beer when I'm at the movie theater. I generally enjoy what I'm watching
Yeah.
for the most
Yeah.
part.
I don't go into movies looking for problems with movies. That's not
No.
that's not my job.
Mm.
That's not
Sometimes
what I
you notice them though. Sometimes
but
they pop up. Yeah.
oh yeah,
Not my
sometimes
job either.
absolutely pop up. Yeah.
Mm.
Not gonna like
Yeah.
everything. So
But yeah, Saltburn, it's interesting. Like, yeah, I don't think it's perfect, but I don't think it's bad. Like I think it's got there's like there's some stuff to like about it, like Barry Keegan, or however you say his last name. He's amazing.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Jacob Lordy, very cool. The cast is very cool. I like the nostalgia for 2006.
I do too. I do too.
Yeah.
Um I like that they were watching Super Bad and like cracking
Yeah.
up. Um
I think
yeah,
there's a yeah, go ahead.
yeah, Barry Keoghan is a rock star.
hmm
Jacob Elordi is the new guy, you know.
He's the new
I said it. I said it. I think he's the new Army Hammer, you know.
He is. I think he is. This movie
Yeah.
definitely has like Call Me by Your Name, Mr. Townsend, Mr. Ripley, um, kind of vibes to it.
Hmm.
So yeah, definitely Jacob Elordi has taken up that Army Hammer position in that one.
Yeah, I'm excited to see him as the monster in Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah, that'll be cool.
yeah, that'll be good.
Be interesting to see how that turns out. Yeah. What else about Saltburn? Yeah, it's just very. I feel like it's like an art house movie made for TikTok, kind of.
Fake.
Like there's just a lot of like moments with the grave where you're like, okay, uh, cool. Like that'll be on the internet.
Some of the characters were just the worst though.
Definitely. Yeah. Terrible. Like
Like
who?
just like
Everybody.
yeah, it turns out everybody except for maybe Jacob Elordi. He seemed
Yeah.
his heart seemed to be in the right place.
Yeah, he was like, oh, like this poor guy. Gotta help him.
But I mean, goodness, the cousin,
Yeah, the cousin is terrible. The
bully.
cousin is the most one of the more dislikable. Yeah.
Yeah, what a bully. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's funny,
Um,
like there's just a lot of like superficiality in it. I watched it another two times. And like he goes to the college and he's like, yeah, I read all the books. And like the professor at like Cambridge is like, you read all the books? Like, are you crazy? Like
yeah,
it's like, isn't he in Cambridge? Like
right, right. I liked some
I've
of
never been to
the
Cambridge though, so
I like some of the little the minor characters in it. Like Carrie Mulligan shows up for a few minutes, and
yeah, yeah.
the student at the
And then she
beginning, friends Barry Keoghan, who's
oh
um
yeah, that he treats like shit. Yeah.
yeah, just that strange character. Um,
Yeah, it's an odd movie. Like, yeah, very strange, but like funny and interesting and yeah, definitely popular to a lot of people. I feel like from reading a lot of the reviews, um I was a lot of the critics I like did not like it. But they're just like, oh, it's like really interesting. And there's somebody who's saying that somebody who liked it is saying that it's like the first time they've had like a character, not the probably not the first time, but like Barry Keoghan is like he's like rich too. Like he's not
yeah, yeah,
he's not poor.
no,
He's like just trying to get richer, I guess. But it's like one of the cases where it's not like somebody who's like super lower class, super higher class, and just like another rich dude, you know.
yeah, with some pretty sociopathic tendencies.
Yeah, and then like, what's his? Why is he that way? They never really explain that either. Like, is he? Yeah, it's odd. He's just
Yeah,
talented, Mr. Ripley, I guess. But
yeah, you're
def
right. It does give off Talented Mr. Ripley vibes, doesn't it?
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Somebody was also saying that like he he's I don't know if this makes as much sense, but I guess like um I don't know. I can't explain it well enough, but interesting movie, I would say.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know if we talked about it before, but oh yeah. So speaking of like crazy batshit movies with a great cast, Leave the World Behind.
Used by the Obamas.
Yeah, produced by Barack and Michelle
Yeah. Um, I
themselves.
I liked it.
Yeah.
It was weird. Like,
Mm,
why did this get made? What is the message that's being told?
yeah.
But yeah, I like anything with Ethan Hawke.
Oh
So
yeah, me too.
yeah.
Yeah, Ethan Hawke. Yeah, he's great. And the cast is awesome and like big. big name cast also,
Seriously.
not like any like um Kevin Bacon and Marshala Ali and uh Julia Roberts, big Hollywood actors. Yeah, it was interesting. Um I think it was probably not good, but
Probably.
but it was fun to watch and just be like, what is this all about? Um, but I don't know, it just kind of reminded me of um like I really wanted them to pin down what the apocalypse was that they had going on. I
I
really wanted to know.
I completely agree with you. I
Yeah.
I didn't like I didn't like where they chose to end the movie.
No,
I
with
could have I could have
the deer were funny.
oh, I like the deer, yeah.
Yeah,
The deer
yeah,
were
deer were
um
cool.
I'm I'm glad I'm glad they've maybe it was that, physical media will always have a place. Maybe that was
Could be the
the
message.
the
Yeah,
end of
that's why I
the movie.
keep buying it. Yeah.
Yeah. Um
Yeah. It seemed interesting for I feel like a lot of Hollywood movies, especially maybe higher budget ones or they can't really pinpoint. I guess this was like kind of a problem with like Nomadland and some other movies, but I always feel like they're all like, oh, like there's so many problems in the world, there's so many issues, and then you're like what? And then there's just like, like it's everything.
yeah,
Like they're not like, oh, it's global warming, oh, it's AI. It's like, no, it's I don't know.
like you can't find the issue that you're trying to focus on. Like
Yeah, yeah.
you're
It's
you're
like,
trying to create something for everybody, like something that everybody will relate to, and then it doesn't stick with anybody. So
yeah, no, yep.
yeah,
You're like, ah, Kevin Bacon is he's the Trump supportery guy in the woods. Like, ah, and yeah, it was interesting for sure. I heard that apparently like the book that's kind of like the point is that they don't know what's going on, but because there's so much like there's the cars and there were the deer and different stuff, you kind of felt like there's probably something going on that but it just made me wonder what the Obamas know.
there's definitely something going on in that movie.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is where I start spouting my QAnon beliefs.
Oh lordy.
I don't have, which I don't have.
Yeah, Alex has to state for the for all of our viewers that he does not
Don't
endorse.
condone, don't
Yeah.
condone or support in any way. Speaking of end of the world, we both went to go see Godzilla -1.
Ooh, yeah, we saw that one together.
Yeah,
That
recently.
was yeah, very recently. What'd you think of it?
I liked it. I liked it a lot. It was, yeah, it was intense for a Godzilla movie. Like it was a lot more emotion than I'm used to with a Godzilla movie, especially an American Godzilla movie.
Well, it wasn't an American Godzilla movie.
Mm-mm. Nope. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, well, that's what I'm used to, I guess.
Oh,
I mean, but from what even also with the Japanese Godzilla movie, most of them I feel like they're not that hardcore with their like characters and the theme and all that.
yeah, I know. I know when we were on our way there, you are much more familiar with Godzilla movies than I am. I think the only one I'd ever seen was the Matthew Broderick one from 1998.
Hell yeah.
Um, but you said that sometimes like people are like rooting for Godzilla because Godzilla's
Yeah.
protecting people from some other bigger monster. And
Hmm.
I watched Godzilla -1, and I found myself rooting for the people.
Yeah.
I was not pulling. I was not pulling for Godzilla in this one.
No,
Yeah,
yeah. I've always had a soft spot in my heart for Godzilla, but I think he's definitely a monster. He's definitely a problem, definitely an
yeah,
issue.
yeah. But I think what I really liked about it was, the I always like a movie about a group of people coming together to accomplish an impossible task. Apollo 13,
For sure.
Godzilla -1.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, name a disaster movie like from the 90s, like Independence Day, um
yeah.
Day After Tomorrow, stuff like
Dante's
that.
Peak.
Yeah, Dante's Peak. Like we'll give him a cold.
Dante's Peak's a good one.
Yeah, I
So
haven't seen that one in a long time.
yeah,
In a
gotta check it.
while. Is that with the one with Pierce Brosnan?
That is the one with Pierce Brosnan. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah. Um, did you know that they're reissuing Godzilla -1 in black and white?
I saw that and I thought it was weird.
I
But I mean, I guess it makes sense, but it's definitely very much harkening back to like the first Godzilla movie. Like,
Yeah,
because it's about, because it takes place during World War II and a little bit after it. It's
right.
really is about, the atomic bomb and about like Japan losing the war and about, Japan being basically colonized by the US and like there's a lot of like male crying in in Godzilla minus one that just the main guy is like a kamikaze, but they're all so mad at him because he didn't commit suicide to save his country, so they like blame him, and he's just like, and he ends up having an interesting arc. We'll give it away,
Mhm.
but um yeah, it was just interesting. I just remember people in the audience being like, "He's crying like a bitch," like. But I felt for him for sure. Um, yeah, but
There was a lot of emotional weight in that movie.
definitely, yeah. It was more about Japan than anything. It was really about yeah, making Godzilla more Japan's thing for sure.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah,
A little bit nationalistic, but I feel like I was thinking about like there's a lot of disaster movies are a little bit nationalistic. That's okay.
sure.
Japan deserves one.
Yeah, great movie. Top
Yeah.
yeah, good stuff.
I just liked all of the like really epic music while they're fighting Godzilla also.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah. Very moving. Very good stuff. Um Also, I don't know if we talked about it before, but um I believe last time I had seen Asteroid City, but what are your thoughts on Asteroid City? Because I believe you've seen it recently.
Not
More,
recently.
more
I saw it in
recently, maybe.
theater. I saw it in
Hmm.
theater. It was pretty meta. It was pretty it was pretty kind of typical Wes Anderson experience, quirky, um, stylistic, all that, good stuff. But
Hmm.
yeah, it was pretty meta, so
Yeah. What are your
yeah.
thoughts on Wes Anderson? Are you still hyped on Wes Anderson, or what do you think?
I'm not hyped on Wes Anderson.
Mhm.
But like if Wes Anderson makes a movie, I'm gonna go see it. I haven't seen his short films yet. I know you want to talk
Yeah.
about, but
Yeah.
but um, he's not necessarily my favorite director anymore. But
No.
when you're in the
Yeah.
mood for him, it works.
Yeah. I feel like we were talking about this. Some of his stuff I feel like is not like what we said, it's not as fresh as it used to be. I think Grand Budapest was kind of a big moment for him for sure. But I feel like and Asteroid City certainly was like really, really good. But I do feel like his stuff is kind of the same stuff over and over again sometimes. But the short films, I will say, I think the short films were um were really good. I thought they were almost better than Asteroid City.
Yeah, I don't know if it's that his movies have lost their edge. Like,
Mm,
like my favorite Wes Anderson movie by a pretty significant margin is The Royal Tenenbaums.
yeah,
And I also really like Rushmore and Life Aquatic. And those are all three of those are like R-rated movies with like, really, I mean, I'm not gonna say gritty characters because nothing's gritty about Wes Anderson, but like kind of like just like odd, baddish people. And
yeah, true.
his his more recent movies like Moonrise Kingdom and stuff like that. I like Moonrise Kingdom was really good, and Asteroid City was also really good, but they're just like so whimsical.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah. They're like whimsical until a certain point. Then like the character does something fucked up, and you're like, oh,
Yeah.
shit. Yeah,
Shit.
yeah.
But
So,
like
were there
bad.
any other movies that we mentioned that were on your top 10 that maybe we haven't talked about?
What's up?
Are there any other movies that we haven't mentioned that might be on your top 10?
Let's see. I don't know, Alex.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's okay. That's
Yeah.
okay. I think we've gotten through some good ones. Um, I would like to point out that I really love the Gerard Butler movies that have been coming out.
Oh,
Just as
absolutely.
a just as a guilty pleasure. Plane, I think, was the first movie I saw this year, and I loved it. Just everything about it.
Gerard Butler's awesome.
Yeah. And all his
He
movies are kind of the same, but I'm still gonna go watch them.
Speaking of Butler movies, but not Gerard Butler, because this has nothing to do with Gerard Butler. That movie, The Beekeeper with Jason
Oh yeah.
Statham,
Did
I
you
have
see
not
it?
seen
Yeah.
that. Looks super fun.
Yeah, yeah. That's a similar vibe. Yeah, yeah, for sure. Yeah, there's a movie that also came out this year called Kandahar, which I highly recommend. And it's kind of the same thing with Plane, where he always plays like a deadbeat dad, and he's like, "Ah, I have a really hard job," and his ex-wife is like, "You need to go to your daughter's tryout, like practice, like soccer practice," and he's like, "Ah, I will when I get back from war," and it's just good.
Yeah.
Great, great stuff. Love it.
Do you ever feel like the family dynamics in movies are like unnecessary plot points? Like, like if like things are really going as bad as like this movie is making it out to be, like, do they really need to be like that stressed out about their daughter's recital?
True. They're like he's calling on like a CIA encrypted phone to his wife and kids, and they're like, "Are you gonna come to the soccer game?" And he's like, "What? What? What do you think? I'm not gonna come to the soccer game. I'm in Afghanistan." Like,
My plane is going down right
my plane is on fire. I'm
now.
gonna land into a hotbed of terrorists. Like, no, I'll
Not this.
FaceTime you. Yeah, they're pretty unnecessary plot points.
Yeah.
I guess it's supposed to make us like endear us to him. Like, oh, he's a dad. Like, oh, poor guy.
Yeah. That's tough though. That's
Hmm.
about so.
Wes Anderson, Gerard Butler. I'll still turn up for him.
Yeah. Yeah, for
Which
sure.
brings us to Renfield.
Renfield.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a fun. That's one with an actor that you really like in it. Um,
Yes.
yeah, that you'll show up for, right?
Every time.
Yep. Yep. Um,
Yeah.
and I think, casting Nicolas Cage as Dracula is like fan casting that people have wanted to see forever.
Oh yeah.
So yeah,
Definitely. And
uh,
probably he's wanted to do also
sure,
forever.
sure. I can dig that. Yeah.
Hmm. But I liked it. I thought it was good. Very fun. Um, one of the best things about it I really liked was um his lair was in the old New Orleans hospital where my mom used to do she did her medical school. It
No
is
shit.
it's like the oldest hospital, one of the oldest hospitals in the US. It is terrifying. It looks so scary.
That's wild.
Yeah, it looks like it was made during for a silent film. It looks like Gotham. Looks like Gotham City.
Yeah.
It's yeah, and it's empty. I think it's empty now, but like we drove around and we looked at it and super haunted, I'm sure. Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah. What did you think of Nicholas Holt in
He was good. He was good. Yeah, I like his movie choices that he's in. Um yeah, he was great. Two good Nicks.
Yeah, yeah,
Hmm.
absolutely.
Yeah. There's
Um
so many movies that came out this year. It's crazy. So many good movies.
I know.
Like,
I know. And yeah, and movies that are just like enjoyable, goofy watches too, you know.
mhm. You know what? I've also noticed. I feel like I don't know if this is the first year or maybe this was last year when this happened, but I feel like superhero movies are going out quite a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think people are kind of tired of them. Um,
yeah, definitely.
you know, there's there's like so much stuff, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
so much
and
content.
so much content. And you know, the yeah, it's been kind of a surprising year for the box office.
Yeah, I think it's the Barbenheimer is the that was the big surprise thing for this year.
Yeah, I mean, like Barbie and Oppenheimer, I think both made $1 billion, and like,
Yeah,
you know, both are both are really good movies, and both are, you know, like I mean, Barbie is like, yeah, of course they're going to make a Barbie movie, but like Oppenheimer's like, you know, not something that you would necessarily expect. And then like
no.
Christopher Nolan gets behind it, you know, like amazing cast, amazing screenplay, everything like that, and you get a really good movie. So
Yeah. And Barbie was like definitely had like some like it was, maybe more about wasn't about Barbie as much in certain points, which was interesting. But at the same time it was a Barbie movie. But that added themes were kind of made it uh, you know, interesting that it made so much money, it did so well.
yeah,
Yeah.
and that's really what matters, right? Making money. So
Making money. That's
yep,
right, boy.
yep.
And I mean, I could go on. I wrote down this list of all these other movies. There's Poor Things, Rotting in the Sun, The Curse, which is a show, but it's really good. Maestro, American Fiction, Ferrari, Fair Play, Fallen Leaves, Anatomy of a Fall. But there's a lot. There's a lot of good stuff.
Did you end up seeing the Iron Claw?
I haven't seen Iron Claw yet. I want to see it.
Uh,
What were your thoughts on it?
Loved it, loved it. Go see it. Zac Efron is fantastic.
Mm,
Jeremy White's fantastic. Um, yeah, so good. Um,
nice.
I'm gonna see Poor Things tonight, by the way. So
Oh, nice. Yeah,
yeah,
we loved it. It was very good. Very um bizarre movie, but very entertaining.
yeah, I love that director.
Hmm. Yeah, he's great.
Yeah.
Um, Before I saw it, my dad was like, "I hear it's supposed to be more woke than Barbie. It's supposed to be worse."
Okay.
Okay, Dad. My dad hated every movie that came out this year except for Oppenheimer.
That tracks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've already rewatched that a few times.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's been a great year for movies. Can't wait for this next year. So many other great films coming out. And also like some more movies this year that I haven't seen yet that I still need to see. All of Us Strangers, um, other stuff. Dream Scenario with Nicolas Cage. Haven't seen that one yet. Um, but yeah.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Always new content to talk about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now with TikTok and now with video games, we gotta we gotta make a TikTok mood
Right. Right.
and a
Short.
video game mood
Hmm.
or book mood.
Yeah. You reading anything good right now?
Oh yeah. I'm reading a um the title of the book I just read is The Name of the Game is Death.
Shoot.
It's a noir. It's a noir book. It's really good.
No, nice.
Yeah. So that wraps up our episode of Movie Mood.
Be well. Thanks for listening.
Peace and love, everybody.